Ever feel like you're running a marathon on a hamster wheel? You're going through the motions, but going nowhere fast.
Oh, tell me about it.
Today, we're tackling burnout head-on and diving deep into Scott Lawrence's Completion Rate ebook.
Okay.
He's got some insightful strategies on finishing what you start, even when your get up and go has, well, got up and gone.
What I find fascinating is how Lawrence connects this feeling of burnout to our very human need for immediate gratification.
Okay, cut to the chase. Are you saying our brains are basically wired to crave donuts instead of deadlines?
You're not far off. Lawrence uses this great analogy. Imagine AI as a fork, purely functional, no desire for that sugary goodness.
Right.
We humans, we're more complex. We've got this constant push and pull between logic and emotion, long-term goals, and short-term temptations.
So how do we escape that dopamine-driven hamster wheel and actually achieve those bigger aspirations?
It's not about silencing those cravings entirely. It's about understanding them. Remember, those instant rewards were essential for our ancestors' survival.
Hmm.
The key, Lawrence argues, is building systems that leverage our natural tendencies instead of fighting them. It's less about relying on willpower and more about creating a rhythm for success.
Systems over goals.
Ah.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these systems. What do they look like in action?
Think of it like compound interest for your goals.
Hmm.
Small, consistent actions, even just 10 minutes a day, add up over time. Instead of aiming for a massive goal that feels overwhelming, you break it down into smaller steps that feel achievable. It's about making those small wins part of your daily routine.
So instead of getting bogged down by a massive project, I focus on taking that first small step consistently. That feels way less intimidating.
Exactly. And that's where understanding the difference between anxieties and actual threats is crucial, something Lawrence emphasizes in his book.
Okay.
He points out how those anxieties, those what-if spirals, can be just as debilitating as real obstacles. We get trapped in overthinking, procrastinating, and ultimately paralyzing ourselves with indecision.
Analysis paralysis.
Hmm.
We've all been there, staring at a menu with a million options, unable to choose. Sometimes any decision, even if it's not perfect, is better than being stuck right.
Precisely. And that's where building a system for decision-making can be incredibly freeing. Lawrence talks about making a choice, sticking with it for a set period, and then evaluating and adjusting as needed. It's about progress over perfection momentum, over agonizing over every little detail.
So how does Lawrence suggest we break free from that analysis paralysis? What are some practical tips for making decisions more effectively?
He introduces a really interesting concept called the minimum viable effort, or MVE. This basically means figuring out the absolute minimum you need to do to test an idea or move forward with a decision.
Okay, so instead of getting bogged down and researching every single option, I should just take action. That sounds a bit scary, to be honest. How do I know I'm not going to make a huge mistake?
That's where testing comes in. The MVE is all about minimizing risk. You start small, gather feedback, and adjust your approach based on real-world results. It's about learning by doing rather than getting stuck in endless planning.
So it's like dipping your toes in the water before diving headfirst.
Mhm.
I can get behind that. But let's say you've got the action part down. You're making decisions, but that pesky burnout still creeps in. What then?
Well, this is where Lawrence gets surprisingly personal and relatable. He opens up about his own experiences with burnout, even sharing his struggles with ADHD and going through a divorce. It's not what you expect from a business book, but it makes his insights that much more powerful.
Vulnerability is so important, especially for those of us who might be struggling silently. It makes you realize you're not alone in those struggles. So how did Lawrence navigate those challenging times?
He emphasizes the importance of understanding your own rhythms and energy levels.
Hmm.
He talks about this concept of masculine and feminine energy, not in a gender-specific way, but as forces within each of us.
Okay, masculine and feminine energies. I'm
Y-
listening.
Think of masculine energy as that directed, action-oriented force, like a laser beam focused on getting things done.
Okay.
Feminine energy, on the other hand, is more fluid, intuitive, and nurturing. It's about flow and connection.
Right.
Lawrence argues that we need both energies to thrive, but they need to be in balance.
I like that he's not framing this as one being better than the other. It's about recognizing those energies within ourselves and finding that sweet spot where we can be both productive and fulfilled.
Yeah.
But how do we actually apply this idea of masculine and feminine energy to our work and lives?
Lawrence dives into the concept of directors versus negotiators.
The
Directors are all about structure systems and efficiency, while negotiators excel at building relationships, collaborating, and finding creative solutions. And what's interesting is that most of us have a dominant mode, but we need to tap into both to achieve sustainable success. He gives an example of a director who's amazing at creating detailed plans but struggles to delegate tasks or ask for help.
So they might end up feeling overwhelmed, even resentful, because they're trying to control everything themselves.
Precisely. And that's where embracing some of that negotiator energy, being open to collaboration, asking for support, and trusting others can be transformative.
It's like learning to dance with both energies, finding that graceful balance between structure and flow. So how do we actually put this into practice? Are there specific exercises Lawrence recommends?
He suggests paying attention to your natural tendencies when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Do you crave solitude and a clear plan of action, or do you reach out to others for support and connection?
That's a great point. Just being aware of those patterns can be so insightful. And I love how he connects this back to building a successful team. It's not just about hiring people with the right skills, it's about assembling a group with diverse strengths and approaches.
Absolutely. And that's where Lawrence brings in this unexpected but brilliant analogy, building your business A-Team Dungeons and Dragons style. Remember those classic D&D characters?
You're speaking my language. I logged many hours of those D&D campaigns back in the day. So how does this gaming metaphor translate to the real world of business?
Just like in a D&D party, a successful business needs a balance of roles and strengths. You need your damage dealer. That's your salesperson, the one who's out there hustling, landing clients, and fearlessly facing rejection.
Our warrior of the marketplace. So who's there to keep our valiant salesperson battle ready?
Enter the healer in Lawrence's model. That's the coach. But this isn't just about coaching clients. It's about nurturing the entire team, offering support guidance and a safe space to debrief and bounce back from setbacks.
The coach is the heart and soul of the operation, providing that essential support system. Makes sense. Now, what about the strategic mastermind behind the scenes?
That would be our marketer, the master of attracting and nurturing leads. Lawrence talks about crafting a viral funnel, comparing it to that catchy song lyric, "Hey, I just met you and this is crazy."
But here's my number, so call me maybe. I get it. It's about grabbing attention and creating a memorable connection. But how does that translate to actually building a customer base?
It's about understanding that building relationships, just like crafting a hit song, takes time and strategy. You need that initial hook, something that sparks curiosity, but then you need to nurture that interest, providing value and building trust over time.
So it's less about the hard sell and more about strategic seduction, guiding potential customers through a journey.
Exactly. Lawrence breaks down the customer journey into stages. Awareness, consideration, decision. It's about moving those potential customers through a funnel from curious onlookers to loyal buyers.
It's making me think of those choose-your-own-adventure books I read as a kid, each interaction guiding the reader down a different path. But creating those compelling customer journeys takes planning, doesn't it? How does Lawrence suggest we approach that?
He provides a really practical framework called the LIST framework, and it's not just for marketing, it's valuable for communication in general.
Okay, list framework. Break that down for me.
It stands for Learnings, Issues, Successes, and To-Dos. Lawrence initially presented this as a way to communicate more effectively with coaches and mentors, but it's incredibly useful for any type of collaboration or progress tracking.
So instead of just saying, I'm stuck,
Right.
I'd say something like, I've learned X, but I'm having trouble with Y, and I've had these successes with Z. Moving forward, I plan to do A, B, and C. It's about being specific and proactive.
Exactly. And that clarity is so powerful. It helps you identify your own roadblocks, articulate your needs clearly, and stay accountable for taking action. But having a plan is just one part of the equation. How do we stay motivated and engaged throughout the journey?
Especially when those inevitable roadblocks pop up and we're tempted to throw in the towel.
That's where understanding your own why comes into play.
Right.
Lawrence talks about connecting with your core values, the driving forces behind what you do.
Okay.
When you're aligned with those values, even the toughest challenges feel more manageable.
It's like that saying, when you know your why, you can endure anyhow. But life isn't always smooth sailing, right? We all hit those unexpected roadblocks, those moments when we feel like we're veering off course. What does Lawrence suggest we do then?
He encourages us to embrace those moments, even find humor in them. He actually brings up the myth of Sisyphus, the guy condemned to eternally push that boulder uphill.
Okay, Sisyphus, I remember him from Philosophy 101. Not exactly a recipe for success, is it?
That's the thing. Lawrence suggests that maybe Sisyphus found a sort of joy in the act of pushing itself. Not in the impossible goal, but in the process, the resilience, the sheer absurdity of it all.
So it's about finding meaning in the struggle, not just the destination. That's a powerful shift in perspective. It's about embracing the journey with all its messy detours and unexpected plot twists.
Exactly. And that's where finding balance in all areas of life becomes crucial. Lawrence talks about this idea of a balanced wheel, ensuring that your business or career isn't overshadowing your health relationships, personal growth, all those things that contribute to a fulfilling life.
Because neglecting one area can throw the whole system off balance. We become that car with a wobbly wheel headed for a breakdown. So how do we keep all those wheels spinning in sync?
Lawrence emphasizes the importance of self-care, and not just in the bubble bath and face mask kind of way. It's about understanding what truly nourishes you, whether it's spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, or pursuing creative passions.
It's about making those things non-negotiable priorities, not just things we squeeze in if there's time left over. But let's be real, even with the best systems and self-care rituals, there will still be times when we feel stuck, frustrated, or just plain over it. What's the takeaway message Lawrence leaves us with?
He reminds us that achieving a 100% completion rate isn't about relentlessly chasing an elusive finish line. It's about finding joy in the journey, embracing those absurd moments, and building systems that allow for both progress and pauses.
Yeah.
It's about asking yourself, what if sustainable action, not just completion, is the ultimate goal?
That's such an important reminder, especially in a culture obsessed with productivity and achievement. Maybe it's less about checking every item off the to-do list and more about engaging with the process in a way that feels sustainable and fulfilling. Thank you so much for diving into these insightful takeaways with me today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, if you're ready to ditch that hamster wheel and discover a more balanced, fulfilling approach to achieving your goals, be sure to check out Scott Lawrence's Completion Rate ebook. We'll include a link in the show notes. Until next time, remember progress over perfection, and don't forget to enjoy the journey.
Running circles on a moving track, feet speeding but getting nowhere. Eyes wide in a hazy stare, lost in chase but lost in lack. Marathon in a maze of glass, breaking through but falling back. Chasing highs in the endless cracks, reality feels like a heavy mass. But I found my rhythm, steady flow, no hamster wheel can hold me now. Plan for success, clear and proud, no more spinning just to glow. Balance comes like quiet dawn, steps align to new day song. Worth rises where doubts go wrong, serenity in the strength of strong. Maps laid out on clean slate, dreams join hands with a calm state. Marketing done with wisdom's weight, success not late, it's my fate. Jumping off the endless grind, clarity in a peaceful mind. Hard work you'll see timed and kind, freedom found in goals aligned. I found my rhythm, steady flow. No hamster wheel can hold me now. Plan for success, clear and proud. No more spinning, just a glow. Balance comes like quiet dawn. Steps aligned to new day's song. Worth rises where doubts go wrong. Serenity in the strength of strong. Maps laid out on clean slate. Dreams join hands with a calm state. Marketing done with wisdom's weight. Success not late, it's my fate. Jumping off the endless grind, clarity in a peaceful mind. Hard work you'll see time and kind. Freedom found in goals aligned. We have found my rhythm's fine. Dreams join hands with a calm state. Marketing done with wisdom's weight. Success not late, it's our fate. Jumping off the endless grind, clarity in a peaceful mind. Hard work you'll see time and kind. Freedom yeah,